are those emerging technologies that will help India grow in the next decade? What is your viewpoint on that?
I think like these days you hear the word AI everywhere. Like people just talk about AI. But also I think this word is extremely misused. There's nothing called AI in the world right now. There's no artificial intelligence. Like everybody is just lying to you in the
Interesting. Tell us more.
right? Everybody is lying to you in the face. There's nothing, no artificial intelligence. Like a few months back, like me and some friends at Berkeley, like we published this paper called literally there's no AI. Like so, yes, the idea being that when people talk, so then when I talk to people in the industry, right? So you see, basically that's the thing. The people should talk about that word in the not in the marketing gimmick sense, but at a more scientific sense, more usability sense. To me, the word AI is still there, but I will not call it artificial intelligence. Rather, I would call it augmented intelligence. Right. So people, you have a lot of learnings from data, like what Google is doing these days, what Facebook has been doing, but a lot of startups that are doing, like especially in say medical space. So you have all these learnings from data. Then you use that learning to change, like say how the healthcare is provided to people, how we make it faster, how we make it more sustainable, how do we make it more kind of affordable to people. So I think that's where I think like a lot of us uh, talked about it. Like for example, healthcare in India. Right? I think like Arjun said, I think it's something that it is available to you only if you have the means. They're more than half the population. They really do not have access to. Think like we have technologies at our doorstep that can enable like healthcare to even those people. So thinking like I think now is the time to take that lead, take that step in the right direction. Like, and especially that is possible if say right scientific people, right business people, right investing comes into that space. So I think that's a really a strong like I'm a strong believer in basically modifying the medical space. I think there are a lot of big companies coming in India, but also I think it's also very limited. So if I look at like AI companies in health space in India, a lot of them are about delivery. Everybody's talking about how can I deliver pharmacy to you at a doorstep. To me, pharmacy is the last step. Like you get prescribed something, before that a lot of things need to happen. So thing is like, why are we not focusing on things before that? So then next comes into the medical, like the access to doctors. And like I've talked to many people in like really high doctor, like high like people who are at so like I know people who had Medanta in Lucknow, people who had so I know people like who had departments at basically Apollo. So if you talk to them and then you talk to a lot of people at the local level. Problem is in India, like whether you like it or not, the level of medicine that is offered is sort of there's a huge standard deviation. You have people who are really knowledgeable, and then you have a large spread of people who really cannot diagnose disease. I would be very blunt, they cannot diagnose disease. But thing is, how can you, but still you have this human capital, you have this human power, like they are still better than a layman. They have got the medicine, like the basically degree of medicine. So thing is like, how can we use all this technology in conjunction with whatever the medical knowledge we have available in the country? And so basically things like how can we kind of increase, how can we enhance their basically enhance the availability of kind of more knowledgeable doctors to everyone. So maybe like so I talked about augmented intelligence, right? So how can you augment intelligence from one pool of doctors to people who are just like doctors who are still learning? Like so basically not going into technical details, things like basically we need to invest in technologies that enable all these things, enable kind of larger availability of healthcare in general. So I think to me, like that's the one part.